House rules. Each speaker has 5 minutes. The first and last minutes are protected. The judge will ring a bell to signal the protected time. The bell will ring continuously after 5 minutes.
Resolved, in a bid to fight the financial crisis among the youth, this House will make vocational training mandatory. Chimuli Alpha Lawrence, St. Joseph'S Senior Secondary School, Naggalama, Team Affirmative. According to the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary of English Language, financial means relating to money or how money is used. And according to the Cambridge Dictionary, crisis is a situation in which someone or something is affected by one or more serious problems. And mandatory is something that must be done or demanded by law. According to the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, youth is a person aged between 18 and 30 years of age, and vocational training refers to the instructional programs or careers that focus on skills acquired for a particular job function or trade. This is according to the United Nations International Children's Education Fund. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the major aim of this debate is to find out how to fight financial crisis among the youth. As Team Affirmative, our parameter is Uganda in reference to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, 70% of Uganda's population is made up of the youth, and most of it are suffering in poverty. This is according to Statista.com. Our house is the Ministry of Education and Sports. Its work is to look at the education system of Uganda. It is going to partner together with the National Curriculum Development Center so as to revise this curriculum. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll get to you. Vocational training should be made mandatory by integrating it into the current academic education system. Vocational training should be made mandatory by integrating it into the current academic education system. This is how we are going to integrate it. According to this is adopted from the Education Policy Review Commission of 1989 by the Ministry of Education and Sports. I'll get to you. Introducing vocational training at upper primary level. What we are going to do, we are going to make sure that at the upper primary level, these teachers are going to be mentoring the children as they prepare them for this vocational training. And at secondary level, students should be made to offer one vocational course from the mentoring they received while they were still in upper level. Our aim is to make sure that learners at all levels of education are self-reliant. And the groups of youth that are going to be taken care of are those that have dropped out of school and youth in the current financial crisis. Part of our work plan is to sensitize the youth who are already in the financial crisis about the availability and importance of their vocational training, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the vocational training and integrating it in the academic system is our work plan. We have already the Namilyango Secondary and Vocational School. This is not something new. These things are already there. Normal learning, like in that school, takes place, and the vocation still is there. Dear panel of judges, this is what we want to happen in our beloved country. As we continue to state, dear ladies and gentlemen, in part of our timeline, 6 months are going to be for training, retooling the teachers, as we shall be enrolling the vocational. We shall be enrolling them as we train them on how it is going to be done. It will go on until we get the required manpower for at least estimated of 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. As I said earlier, that we want to integrate it into the current education system. Ladies and gentlemen, maintaining vocational education decentralized under district education officers to allow internal assessment to reduce the costs of central assessment. This is what we want to do as Team Affirmative. We have already examples of the vocational institutes in Uganda. We have 207 vocational institutes in the country. Enough for the employment, for the unemployment, for the... Okay. Enough for the unemployed youth. As Team Affirmative, remain on our stand that vocational training should be made mandatory. Thank you very much.
Mandatory vocational training is not the solution to the problem at hand. Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. My name is Anselm Mamanya, the first speaker from the negative side. Resolve. In a bid to fight financial crisis among the youth, this House will make vocational training mandatory. And I'm the first speaker from the negator side, like I said. Ladies and gentlemen, we get a team of farmers that come and says they want to implement their policy in the upper primary, but they quote the age of the people who are called youths as 18 to 35, which people in upper primary are actually 18 and above, ladies and gentlemen. They come and tell us that crisis is actually, come and define us for us crisis, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever they defined it from. But ladies and gentlemen, crisis is when you're in a critical situation, when something actually needs urgency. So they have not showed us urgency in their implementations, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, like I told you, mandatory vocational training is not the solution at the end of the day. With that, allow me to first present you my status quo, ladies and gentlemen. According to the stats from UPTEB, there is a steady growth in interest in vocational training. Programs with cumulative annual record of registered candidates increasing by 27%, ladies and gentlemen. That is with the vocational training still being non-mandatory, ladies and gentlemen. According to the Daily Monitor of 25th, 2022, 49% of the graduates from the vocational training are unemployed because they lack startup capital and kits. That's according to the findings from the Trace and Labor Market Assessment. It goes on to show that 50% of those who actually try to start up their businesses end up complying. What does this show you? At the end of the day, the problem is not vocational training being non-mandatory. Actually, the problem is the underlying issues that are actually shown in the National Youth Action Plan, which are 1, stereotypes, 2, access, 3, equity, and 3, quality, ladies and gentlemen. How can these problems be solved, ladies and gentlemen? They can be solved in our policy, in which we come as the government of Uganda, working in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and Sports, Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, and the Directorate of Industrial Training. Our funding is from the government and private household, and we're also in collaboration with organizations such as Plan International and World Vision, ladies and gentlemen. How are we going to do in our policies? 1, we are going to actually have grassroots mass sensitization. How is it different from theirs? For us, we are actually going to involve the cultural, religious leaders, and civil liberties and area councillors so that we can reach out to everyone. 2nd, we're going to use apprenticeship programs, ladies and gentlemen. This is also a problem of access. We have to make sure everyone is able to access at least a training center, ladies and gentlemen. Then, how are we going to solve the problem of equity? We're going to actually provide scholarships for people who are underprivileged, people who can actually get study loans and go to school, ladies and gentlemen, and go to these training institutions. 3, how are we going to solve the problem of quality? How about we reform the vocational training curriculum so that you can include things such as financial literacy, which can actually help people manage their business, ladies and gentlemen, because making money is one thing, but maintaining money is another thing, ladies and gentlemen. How about we incorporate labor market demands into these people, so that these people can be relevant in the labor market, ladies and gentlemen? How about we introduce youth seminars that can also help these other people? Like we told you, some of these people actually finish the training, but they still remain unemployed. And therefore, as the government, we still come in to show you that we are going to support small-sized medium enterprises, the SMEs. We're going to give them low-interest loans. We're going to offer training. What are the benefits at the end of the day? We're going to solve the problem at hand of unemployment and actually get these people out of the financial crisis, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to increase the number of enrollment in these vocational institutions at free will. We're not going to force anyone at the end of the day. And we're going to actually elevate people out of poverty, and we're going to develop macroeconomics. Our work plan is going to last 5 years. In the first year, we're going to solve problems that limit the number of enrolling. Our second year, we're going to verify and identify the unemployed youths with vocational skills. In the third year, we shall avail them with the skills, with the startup capital and kits. In the 4th and 5th year, we're going to evaluate and monitor. And this does not just stop in the 4th and 5th year, because we shall have annual reviews by the Ministry of Education and Sports, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, our team of farmers comes and sells to us a plan which is really impractical. First of all, we want to ask them, how are you going to identify people who are actually non-compliant? And when you identify them, are you going to actually punish them? Which fair punishment are you going to give them at the end of the day? Because these people are not easy to be identified in the site. And with that, I beg to rest my case.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.